Good morning all, welcome back to Sew Granny Sew. Today we're going to do something just a little bit different. I'm having a major issue today, so we're going to make a window quilt to keep the cold air out and the warm air in. As you can see on my window, we live in an old house, the plastic did not hold up and it is blowing. It's 30 some degrees at the window and on the other side of the curtain it's 55. We're just going to make a quilt and put over top. This is the furnace. We've been without a furnace for a week. Our new furnace comes in tomorrow and it will be put in tomorrow. But in the meantime, the furnace sits right by that window, kind of defeating the purpose of a furnace in the first place. The window quilt we're going to make is like this. This is one I made for the front door. It's an old house. It was built in 1905. Very rickety on the front porch. I've never redone it. But as you can see, I just attached it with the Velcro. I had some doubts if this was going to work, but it has allowed our porch to heat up to 85 degrees now with just a little oil space heater, so that's really nice. So the fabric I used is just some old cord and some old tapestry my mother had. Pretty colors that matches my front porch. And I just sewed it together with some batting and then a knit on the back. I didn't know what to use a knit for. And I put a binding on it. And it, like I said, it's holding up real well. It's washable because of the Velcro. Okay, we're back in the craft room. So I have chosen, this is a canvas weight, as you can see. And it isn't got some blue in it. So I believe the background is actually a really dark navy. But our house is blue, about that color, so it will blend in well for those looking at the window as it's thawing or as it's just starting to freeze each year. You want to keep all those little things in mind, how it looks from the outside as well as the inside. So I got that to put on the back. So along with this piece, I did go ahead and measure out the window, and I measured from the very top of the trim to the very bottom of the windowsill, and then also the very edge of both the left and right trims. And the size I need is 39 by 72. This piece measures 44 by 64, so it will be a few inches shy in length, but that's okay because we'll just put white on the bottom or black. It doesn't matter because that will be below the window, used up underneath the windowsill. Then for the front, I held both the white and the black. I do have those sheer curtains in between, the 3 different kinds of curtains, but the sheers are in between the middle panel and the outside room darkening curtains. So I wanted to see what would look good underneath the sheer, and both of them do. I don't know if a design would be the smart thing to do because that would show underneath the sheers should they make their way open. So I'm just going to go ahead and do stripes like I did on the front door to get a contrast of color, just in case I do have the curtains down or something. Then I have a contrasting color between the two and it looks like some sort of a design. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out 6-inch strips by width of fabric from both the black and the white, and iron the fabric, get the 6-inch strips cut out, 6 of each, and I will meet you back here to show you how to put it together. Okay, I wanted to try this out. I had ordered the 60mm OLFA cutter on Amazon. I'll put the link below for you, but I wanted to see, this is your blade cover. It's really, it comes already assembled and everything. But it does have, as you can see, some oil on it. So we're going to go ahead and cut a couple scraps with it. I am cutting 4 pieces, or 2 pieces, but 4 layers at a time. And I had to go back over with the scissors again with this 45mm one. It's nice because in comparison, there's more room between there and there than there and there. So in general, you can cut more layers anyways. You can cut thicker fabric with it. But I wanted to see, I keep switching out the blade. I'm getting nowhere. So I also bought an endurance blade for it. It says it cuts 2 times as long. Used for cotton wool, paper, vinyl, and leather, and so much more. So I've heard that these are good. I've also heard titaniums are good. So we're going to go ahead and try it with this one. And then we'll go ahead and cut some more of that and see if it... Oh, wow. That is a big difference. It just seems so much more open because it doesn't have the guard like this one. So I will have to be careful on that. But we're going to go ahead, now that we got some of that oil off where we're cutting at, and get the blade out and cut some more. You guys will have to let me know in the comments what things that you found that you can make around the house that help you out, you know, kind of like I did the wool mat, the cover for the wool mat. I'm constantly finding little things that really makes knowing how to quilt and sew worth its while. Oh, that cuts like butter, you guys. That is awesome. Get that beginning good this time. Yep, we got it. Okay, so that's all 8. I did switch this out to a different fabric. The fabric I had out originally for the cream colored, whitish, ivory, whatever, was actually a muslin. So I switched it out for a cotton. Okay, so we are cutting 2 at a time. So we do have 8 of them cut out as well. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to bring these to the iron for real this time. Get them ironed flat. And then I will show you, that way I can go right through it. We're just going to take one of these strips, lay it right side up. Now I use just plain colored ivory on mine. So that way there's no upside down to worry about and all that kind of crazy stuff. I do got the same, or I'm sorry, I do got the selvage edge on both of these still. But we're just going to line up the edge of them. Put our pins in. Bring them to the sewing machine and put a 1/4 inch seam all the way along. We'll come back and then of course we'll alternate them. So the next one we attach here will be black. So I'm going to go ahead, get them ironed, get the strips all sewn together, and I'll bring you back here. Have them sewn together in sets of 2. So we have 8 sets of 2. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take these and flip it over onto the other one. And as I said, you're just going to go black and white. And reverse them each time. So you're sewing a black one to a white one. We're just going to line those up and once again pin those together and bring those to the sewing machine and do a 1/4 inch seam all the way along it. So I have been chain stitching mine, which makes it go by a little bit quicker. It's still mundane, and they're sewing with a fabric all the time. It's done so much quicker than as if you just put it in, walk back to your table, pin the next one on like that. So we're just going to do that 1/4 inch seam all the way along. And we're going to go through and we're going to put each of them together. And we're going to continue that until we get it all into one piece. So I'll get that done. I'll iron them as I go with each round. And then I will meet you back here. Okay, we have it all sewn together now. I really like that color, the black and white. Well, it's kind of an ivory, but I like the color combination. Kind of pulls the lighter color of the black out that way. So if you remember right, in the beginning of the video, I said we're going to need 6 of each. Well, then I cut 8 of each and we sewed them on. So I need to remove 3. So what I'm going to do is this one ends in black. This one ends in white. So I'm going to pull this white one off this end, and then I'm going to take it off right here. So I got black on both top and bottom, because I am going to use a black binding. That way it will tie it in a little bit better. Okay, I got those picked out of there and got them ironed flat. So now we need to make this 39 inches wide. So I just lined up my edges where the selvage was at. And I'm just going to go ahead and go to the first line that's full to make sure we get all them selvages off. And we're going to cut that on. Then we're going to go 39 inches from that edge cut over this way, and then we'll cut it again. I cut it off right there, which is, I'm cutting it off at 39.5, just to be on the safe side. Better to have a little too much than not enough. And after we quilt it in, we can cut it down farther if we need to. Okay, so this other fabric is not going to go to waste. As far as the bigger pieces I had to take off for the binding around the edges, And also we could use it, remember I said we have to add more to that backing. That'd be a perfect piece to add to that, or if we only need that amount, we could add it to that as well. So now that we got this cut down, we need to work on our batting. And our backing. So I think we're going to go with the backing first. And I know we have some uneven edges, and as you can see, some frayed. More Facebook purchase I got. So you just deal with it. But as you can see, it's got some spots on it. That's not really going to matter because it's going to face a window. And nobody's going to see that up close. Go ahead by getting this lined up and cutting that end so it's nice and straight. And what better way to use fabric that has flaws and stains and stuff than for a project such as that. It is about 45 wide, so it'll be plenty wide enough. It just won't be long enough. So let's see how much we need to add to it. We're looking at 60, so we need another 12 inches. And I think this one might be perfect. No, it's not. We're going to have to sew the other one onto it, and that's not a big deal. We'll just go ahead and sew that white one onto it, and we'll use these 3 pieces to go the width of this as well. We'll thread out, get it iron flat, and then we will sew it to the top and bottom of this piece the same way we just sewed those strips. So I'll get that done, and I'll meet you back here. I did iron it. Something I did not mention, I think, anywhere in the video, was when you iron these, you want to iron everything, of course, to the darker, the black. So even on the front panel, everything's ironed towards the dark side. Then this one, of course, is ironed this way. So as you can see, the blue is longer. We only need 39 inches across. So we're going to go ahead and fold that up and get this trimmed down. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and make sure we got a nice straight line that we're working with. Okay, and then we're going to measure out the 39 inches. Actually, we'll go a little bit more than 39 inches, so we got a little wiggle room when we are quilting it in. Okay, so I'm going to go on that 40-inch mark. Right about there. And that will get rid of all of our excess different length there. That side. And we will double check to ensure that the front and the back are similar. The back needs to be a little bit bigger. It doesn't need to be. It would be nice for it to be a little bit wider than the front. So this is our front side. We'll get that lined up on that. And we are just about an inch over. So that's good. That's exactly what we wanted. So now we are going to cut the batting. And the batting will be the same size as this backing. So about 40 inches by 72 inches should be good. And I will link the roll batting. This is what I get. It's 80/20 cotton poly batting with scrim needle punched. This is a twin size, 72 by 90. So the length is, or the width is actually going to be our length on this. So we just need to cut the 90 down to, we'll give it about 40 to be on the safe side. So not quite half of it. So we'll go ahead and get that cut down to size. I will link these on there as well. It's usually cheaper to get it, of course, by the roll. So right now at Joann's, they're having a sale. I don't know who all shops at Joann's, but I just ordered my roll of batting from Joann's. And it was $85, plus your shipping and so forth. But if you have the Amazon Prime, it is $90 with, of course, free shipping because of Amazon Prime. Really good deal there as well. I think theirs is in a white, whereas this is a natural. But that is the only difference. The roll I ordered in was 120 by 10 yards. So I usually do a 5x6 quilt. So that will do a total of 10 quilts for, $85. Now they have it on sale at Joann's. It's like 64 or something like that, because of their doorbuster sale. So if you haven't checked out Joann's and you do shop on there, you might as well go over and get that one. That's even cheaper yet. But I will link the roll to Amazon, and of course this one here down in the description. Our bedding cut. That was really easy. I just had to cut down one crease, so that was simple enough. So this is our backing. So all we're gonna do is lay our backing down right side towards the table, and I'm gonna do it this way so I have enough room to lay it out. And we are just going to make our sandwich. Then we're going to take our batting now your scrim and your needle punching. If you look, I don't know if you can see that. So if you look, you can see there's more of a texture on this side, and this side is more smooth. You want that texture side to be facing the top. It's usually a little bit bigger than what it says, but just to be on the safe side, I want to get it as close to being lined up at the top as I can, and then we'll just smooth that out so it lays nice and flat. Now, you can use basting spray if you want. You can actually use whatever you want ways to hold it together. I utilize the pin method. It's my preferred way to do things. You can use whatever method you would like. So once we get that on, then we're going to go ahead and take the front. Now, the tricky part here is we need to make sure we got this lined up with the back. So once you get that corner in place, we can leave that out. Let me hold that up there. So I have my pins, which as you can see, they're the curved pins. I think mine are 1.5 inch. I will put a couple of them too in the description box for a couple different sizes. It depends on your preference. So once we have that in place, we're just going to go ahead and pin that. And we're going to do that all along that top edge, making sure we have it nice and lined up. We'll just work our way all the way over to the other side and get it all pinned into place. Have that first part pinned into place. We're just going to double check that we line up still. And then we're going to go down to the next row and we're going to do the same thing. Just pin it in place. And we're just going to do this row by row, and we're going to work all the way down, making sure that we stay in line with each other on the edges so that we ain't going crooked either way. So I'm going to go ahead and get it all pinned into place, and then I will meet you at the sewing machine and show you how we're going to stitch the ditch on this. As you can see, we do have it all pinned on, and I just alternate my pins, so on the black, and then the white, and then the black, and I just do that all the way the length, the same way I do my quilt. And at this end, we have extra of that backing, that we added to. So I'm going to leave that extra there until we get done sewing it. So what we're going to do to stitch it in, I'm just going to do stitch in the ditch on every line all the way along. So I'll stitch down this way, down to that end, go over and stitch back, down to this end, go over and stitch up. So I'm going to bring you to the sewing machine and we'll get started on getting this quilting done. So as much as I wanted to get this done today, our furnace just showed up and we are going to have the heating and plumbing guys out here installing this, so it's going to get loud. So I am going to close this out on part one. I will meet you back here to do the quilting and the binding and getting it hung up on part two. So keep an eye out for that. I will link everything in the description below of the items that we used. I will try to find some similar fabric if you're looking for that. We have the black distress, and then we just have an ivory cotton. So I will try to find some similar and get those linked in there for you as well. I think this would be really cute if it was cut into blocks after you did the 2 strips and then just measured out 6-inch blocks and cut them and did like a checkerboard pattern on a little boy's bedroom window. Not only are they great for the winter to keep the cold out, but they're good for the summer to keep the heat out. They're also good for blocking some allergens from getting into kids' bedroom windows or possibly even yours. So go ahead and drop in the comments below what little things you guys make around your house to make life just a little bit easier, that you're thankful that you know how to sew. As always, guys, if you found this video useful, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we'd love to have you here at Sew Granny Sew. Thanks all. Have a good day. Bye.